What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Church Boy V back with another video. And today we're gonna be looking at PlayStation versus Xbox history. So we're gonna be doing some history on the rivalry of PlayStation and Xbox. So I know it's been a minute since I did like a history video, but I thought this would be good because Black Ops 7 coming out. I just did the trailer not too long ago, and it's always been a rivalry between Team Xbox and PlayStation. And I could tell you for myself, I used to be on Team Xbox, but then when PlayStation 2 came out, that's when I joined Team PlayStation. I never looked back. So that's what team I'm on, Team PlayStation. So y'all let me know in the comment section what team y'all PlayStation or Xbox. So let's check out this video. I hope you're having a blessed day today.
Overlap into each other's territory. And before I say anything else, I want to acknowledge that Nintendo, of course, has been right there alongside the other two, releasing consoles and games, sometimes even at a higher level. However, I think most would agree that they have been kind of doing their own thing and have not been as directly competitive as the other two. So to keep things simple for this video, I want to leave Nintendo mostly out of it as I outline what has been happening between PlayStation and Xbox from the beginning throughout 4 generations of consoles. Though, oddly enough, it was Nintendo that first got Sony involved with video games. Being an electronics company from the same country, Sony created this advanced audio chip for the SNES that sparked a friendly working relationship between the two. From there, they worked together to create a wild gaming system called the PlayStation that would play SNES cartridges and CD-ROMs. It was never officially launched to the public, and one of the few that was ever produced was later sold at an auction for over $300,000, so the Nintendo PlayStation has become a legend in gaming. The reason it was never widely produced is because the two companies could not agree on the terms, and Nintendo was a bit disrespectful in the way they handled it. The story goes that at the last minute, right as everything was being announced, they abandoned Sony in favor of a European partner called Philips. Understandably, Sony was upset with the situation, so they ended up pushing forward with the PlayStation on their own. They released it in late 1994, initially in Japan, and from day one, it was a big success. 3-dimensional gameplay in some iconic series like Resident Evil, Gran Turismo, and Crash Bandicoot attracted millions of customers and helped it become a sensation. It only took 4 years for the PS1 to surpass the Walkman as Sony's best-selling electronics product. In total, it sold over 100 million units, and the craziest part is that the second PlayStation was even more popular. That is going to lead me into my first comparison, the PlayStation 2 versus the original Xbox. See, throughout the second half of the 1990s, while the PlayStation 1 was making its way into people's homes, Microsoft was aggressively
And that's why I had at first the Xbox. But then when I started to play the PlayStation 2, oh, that's outside. When I started playing the PlayStation 2, I think one of my friends had the PlayStation 2. That's when I switched to PlayStation, because I did have the Xbox. Me and my cousin would play all the time on his. And when it was time for me to get a system, like official system, I got a PlayStation 2 because one of my friends had the PlayStation 2 already. And I played on his, he let me play, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a PlayStation 2. I never looked back. So that's my origin story.
To get Windows 95 and then Windows 98 into people's homes. And when Sony started developing the more powerful PlayStation 2 that was likely going to have the ability to play DVDs, it made Microsoft nervous. They were looking at it as like a computer for the living room, which is venturing into their territory, so they felt that they would be losing ground unless they got involved in it in some way. At first, they tried approaching Sony and Nintendo wanting to develop, I guess, a special version of Windows for their consoles, but they all declined. It is rumored that Microsoft Microsoft then considered acquiring Sega, but ultimately ended up developing their own computer-like gaming console that, ironically, did not utilize Windows. It was revealed to the public on stage by Bill Gates in early 2001 and released toward the end of that year, and I have to say, Microsoft put a lot of effort into it. At the time, during an interview, Bill Gates said, "We are so committed to this thing. When we do something, we stick to it." They acquired the developer Bungie so they could have Halo Combat Evolved as a launch title. They spent $500 million marketing the Xbox in just about every way that you could imagine. I'm talking about television commercials, in-store displays, they had trailers touring the country, setting up in spots with DJs where people could test the system. They gave away thousands of them for a promotion with Taco Bell. And to establish themselves in the market, they were selling the system at a loss, estimated to be as much as $100 per unit. I would say that Microsoft did as much as you could reasonably expect, but unfortunately for them, for this generation, PlayStation was simply unstoppable. The PlayStation 2 was everything people wanted at the time. It was backwards compatible for the 100 million people who had already bought PS1 games, it had a bunch of cool new titles, it had that DVD player, and it was released well over a year before the Xbox. 25 million people had already bought a PS2 before they were even able to buy an Xbox. The movie Lara Croft Tomb Raider, based on the popular PlayStation game, made over $200 million in the months leading up to the Xbox release. Even though Xbox had the incredible power of Microsoft behind it, it was always a massive underdog, and in the end, I think the numbers reflect that. In fact, nothing has ever outsold the PS2. It remains the best-selling console of all time, so that was a tough battle that I cannot really blame Xbox for losing.
Wait,
Oh, crazy.
Powell stepping down? Nah, he's staying put.
So many great hits.
Told ya! Powell's not going anywhere!
Powell gone by December? Kalshi tracks it. If this shifts, the market flips.
That's why I'm watching Kalshi.
Kalshi! Kalshi! Kalshi!
Kalshi. Where your voice becomes a position.
It was the PlayStation 3 against the Xbox 360, and this right here is where Sony made some of their biggest mistakes. Going in, they had two major...
The thing about it, Xbox 360 was beating on PlayStation 3 because the 360 had exclusive games, and then I think they had online. I think they started online playing online. They started to play online, but like Xbox 360 sold so many more PlayStation, so many more Xboxes than PlayStation. PlayStation 3 didn't really have exclusive games. I mean, they had some good games, but they didn't really put a lot of effort or push on PlayStation 3 that I thought was that would push it to be great. They dropped the ball on PlayStation 3. 'Cause I had a PlayStation 3 too, but they're always getting overheated. And it's like, I don't know. They have a few hits. I want to say maybe the Call of Duty franchise helped it out a lot. But besides that, like, Xbox was whooping on PlayStation 3. So
is going for them. Obviously, the momentum from the previous two consoles and the Blu-ray. Blu-ray, as I'm sure you already know, is like a higher definition DVD format that is made by Sony. To help promote their two products, they made it so that the PS3 could play Blu-rays, which was a very attractive feature that Xbox simply could not match. They did not want to integrate the Sony product into their system, so their best answer was to separately sell an accessory that could play the competing format HD DVD, a format that was quickly discontinued, partially because the PS3 helped make the Blu-ray so popular. But aside from that, the Xbox 360 was probably the more attractive console. Xbox Live had become popular, it had exclusive titles like Gears of War and of course the Halo series that was setting sales records with the release of each sequel. Also consider the fact that the 360 was launched almost a full year before the PS3, so during that time, all the PlayStation fans were stuck on the older generation, unless they switched over to Xbox. And then, even when the PS3 was finally made available, it cost a whopping $499 for.
And that's why I didn't get. Like, why it cost so much? Cause I got mine. I waited maybe a few months. I waited a few months after it got released. I was able to get it. I was able to get it later on, but it costs a lot. So a lot of people didn't buy it. I forgot all about that. Like, that's another reason it didn't sell that much compared to Xbox, because the price was just way too expensive, and you really didn't have no exclusives. You really didn't. I mean, the Blu-ray thing was cool, but it's like a lot of people had DVD players that could do the same, but it was like, why it's so high for? It's just high for no reason. I don't know.
The lowest 20GB model and an extra 100 for the 60GB model. Back then, customers almost expected a $299 price point. That was the price of the PS1, the PS2, the original Xbox, and the base model for the competing Xbox 360. So due to all these factors, the 360 outsold the PS3 for many years and ultimately did outsell it in North America, but on a global scale, when it was all said and done, the PS3 did sell more units than the 360 by a small margin. So setting the stage for the next generation, it was really looking like Microsoft might finally be able to come out on top. And, well, the next comparison is the PlayStation 4 versus the Xbox One. And I know the name.
PS4, I loved it. I'm actually about to get another PS4. I sold my PS4 back then I bought another one. Then I sold it. Then I bought a PS5 last year, and I sold the PS5. So I'm finna get a PS4 in a few weeks. So about to be live. So PS4, man, PS4 did way better and saved PlayStation system with the sales, because they had, man, it was way better. PS4 way better. It brought the PlayStation system back up.
It gets more confusing with each generation. Unlike the others, these two were released within a week of each other in North America in November of 2013. The issue here is that the Xbox team at the time seems to have had a very different vision for the console compared to what the users wanted from it. The Xbox One was initially announced as some sort of all-in-one multimedia device, where the outside features were seemingly emphasized more than the gaming aspects. It came with an HDMI input where you could plug in your cable box, and it was bundled with Kinect for voice and motion commands that turned out to be a disaster. If nothing else, it was surprising and confusing, and on top of that, they announced this digital licensing system where games had to be linked to your account, making it difficult to share them with your friends or sell them when you were done playing them. Actually, PlayStation took advantage of that opportunity by making a comedic video showing how easy it was to share their games, so Xbox did end up changing that system. It is hard to convey the extent of this without going into all the details, but I'm just going to say that Xbox had never gotten more backlash from the public. The person in charge of the department left the company in the time between the announcement and the launch, so it was clearly not the strong follow-up to the 360 that they were hoping for. I think they were also trying to limit their losses here, because they had been losing money on these consoles for over a decade now, not to mention over $1 billion that they had to spend repairing 360s that were victim to that red ring of death issue. So considering the cost of including that Kinect sensor, they set the price point at $499, $100 more than the PlayStation 4. Phil Spencer, the current leader of the department at Microsoft, later said, "We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One. Comparatively, about twice as many PS4s were sold, proving that a lot of people made that jump from Xbox to PlayStation during that time." Finally, the last comparison is between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series S,
And this is gonna be my last time stopping. But I want to explain like each system, like memory lane. Now, one thing about the PS5 that I just hate is the price. Like the price is ridiculous, and like the price is not going down. And the thing is, they came out with the PS5, what is Slim Pro, whatever. And it's like they need to bring the prices down on these systems because it's getting ridiculous. Like the PS5, when I bought it. I waited a minute, like maybe a year, to get it. I got like the original PS5 with the where you can slide the CD in, and I got it at the pawn shop for $400. So it's like they need to bring down the price point with these systems. But PS5 was great. Great graphics, and can't complain. I love the controller. I love the controller of the PS5. It's so unique, and it got the you could talk through the mic and stuff like that. Got built-in mic and all that. I love the PS5 controller. But the PS5 is good though. But the thing is, bro, the price point is just ridiculous. So I just wanted to say that.
The upgraded Series X, this time released only a couple of days apart. Honestly, this matchup is probably less important than any of the ones before it. Phil Spencer has essentially admitted that Xbox has lost the console wars and shifted the company's strategy to value the games and their streaming platform Game Pass above everything else. See, throughout all of this, having certain games exclusive to the console has been one of the main ways to attract users. I have not talked about it too much here because it is subjective depending on which game you like, and they have mostly kept up with each other in their own ways. But we have to recognize that compared to Sony, Microsoft is a much larger and more powerful company. That is pretty much how they forced their way into the console market in the first place, and lately, Microsoft has been using that advantage to acquire various developers and publishers of video games. A few of the bigger examples would be in 2014, they paid $2.5 billion to buy the company behind Minecraft. In 2021, they paid $7.5 billion to buy ZeniMax Media, and in 2023 they paid almost $70 billion to buy Activision Blizzard. I mean, they own the rights to multiple mega franchises, and if they were to make them all exclusive to Xbox, well then yeah, Xbox would almost certainly pull ahead of PlayStation, but they have a wider focus beyond the consoles, and have even been releasing former exclusives to the PlayStation 5. Not surprisingly, the PS5 has sold considerably more units than the new Xbox series, but the console war is not exactly what it used to be. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about everything that has happened between PlayStation and Xbox, and which side have you favored over the years?
And then the thing that the new Xbox Series 1 is ugly as heck. It's like, what the heck is this? And it's smaller and stuff, and the PS5 got bigger. Now it's slim, but still nice. But yeah, I figure the PS5 sold way more. And the thing of it is that it's real dope. PS5, I can't complain about it, except the price point. But like gaming wise, and well, I can't say for the most part it's good. And then like the online store, they always having sales and stuff. The thing that saved Xbox with this new system was the Game Pass. That's like the cheat code for Microsoft on Xbox right now. So that's what really been holding them afloat with this system. But they're real smart of them to buy all these gaming companies too. So, and they have way more exclusives than, I say they have better exclusives. Not way more, but better exclusives than PlayStation. PlayStation got I don't know exclusive. I want to say Call of Duty could be exclusive, but I don't think that's exclusive. I think God of War, Uncharted maybe. I can't remember. I had to go back and look, but PlayStation team all day. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video and the history. And hey, PlayStation whooped Xbox all these years, still whooping them, but Xbox ain't bad though. They improved. They got that Game Pass that's undefeated. And one thing I hate, one of the reasons I got on PlayStation because you can get on the thing for free. They ain't have subscriptions. Now they got subscriptions. Like you got to get the freaking what is it like $11. You can get like the pass for like 80, 60 or $80, something like that. Subscription pass. They didn't have that until like I want to say PlayStation 4. They started doing that. Maybe I want to say PlayStation 4 because they ain't had it on the PS3 at all. But yeah, so I'm thinking just buying the whole year because that's ridiculous. But it's all good. I'm gonna stay on Team PlayStation. Shoot, been on it this long. So y'all let me know in the comment section. Y'all have a blessed one. The Most High love you. Jesus, Holy Spirit love you. I love you. Check out all the videos I posted this week. And y'all be ready. Song coming out November 28th. And I ain't taking no breaks, no holiday stops, none of that. So y'all hit that notification bell to stay tuned. And hey man, we're going up, up, up. So y'all take care. We out.